a mini padyatra from his ancestral house till the polling booth.
Yeah, and he loves walking these lanes, Arunima. In fact, the last rally he always does in the election campaign is near his house. So, he always ends his campaign here, that emotional connect, that, I remember going to his last rally here nearby when he said that, I grew up in these lanes, I played in these lanes, and you made me the Chief Minister. So, he loves being here. He's just about to enter as we speak, Mr. Ashok Gehlot, to cast his vote. And as you said, जादूगर की जादूगरी इस इलेक्शन में चलेगी कि नहीं चलेगी, this we'll only know on December 3. But this seems like the big hurrah of the Ashok Gehlot, maybe the last hurrah, we don't know. But in a way, he's trying his best. He's campaigned aggressively in this election, gone all around the state, did over 50 to 60 rallies, doing 3 to 4 rallies daily. So in a way, and called these rallies as guarantee rallies, saying that his 7 guarantees will do the trick and his 7 guarantees will bring him power again. He said government repeat hogi. That is what he said in our interview yesterday. That Sarkar repeat hogi because लोग जो हैं वो योजनाओं और गारंटी पे वोट डालेंगे.
Both you and Pallavi have been telling our viewers about what an organizational man Ashok Gehlot is. The last 10 minutes or perhaps more, we are constantly seeing the pictures of him walking from his ancestral house to the polling booth. I'm presuming the local Rajasthani media would be plastered with these pictures as well. So even at the last hour, in the slog overs, he's ensuring that it is him who's on the minds of the voters. If by any chance, if they've missed those huge pink posters in the state. Aman?
Absolutely, and he's an expert at this. He's an expert at it, and he also feels that, this mini kind of a padyatra or a mini roadshow as we call it, talking to voters, walking to them in these small bylanes of this area of rural old Jodhpur, and trying to come here and tell people that, look, I am one of your own. I have been targeted by the BJP. I have saved my government in 2020. The Prime Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, as he said, सारे BJP leaders ने इस election में मेरे में धावा बोल दिया. So everybody targeted me. Yesterday when I asked him कि आप पे धावा बोला, तो क्यों बोला? तो he said, I don't take offense to it. I am in fact pleased that the entire BJP sees me as their target. So in a way, Mr. Ashok Gehlot has made this election a lot about himself, a lot about his face, his administration record. But will this work against, a very, very aggressive BJP in Rajasthan, a BJP which has targeted him over this Lal Diary episode, targeted him over the crimes against women, this Kanhaiya Lal killing in Udaipur, the communal overtones which have been seen in this election. Was Mr. Ashok Gehlot cut out to counter that campaign? Remains to be seen, because Rajasthan, Arunima, earlier has never seen a communal campaign. This is the first time that communal overtones were seen in this campaign, which I feel the Congress government was not able to counter that effectively. Will the BJP's Ram Mandir coming up next month, in January, will all that prove the trick for the BJP? Let's see on December 3. But Mr. Gehlot is about to arrive in a few moments at this polling booth to cast his vote.
Pallavi, as you're seeing these pictures, him stopping, shaking hands with youngsters, meeting and greeting, it is looking like a mini padyatra, like a mini road show to me. Having covered the man, the Jadugar, for the last 10 years or more, perhaps, classic Gehlot, or has he also changed his style, learned his lessons over the years?
Well, it's interesting when you ask that, Arunima, because this is classic Gehlot, but what was not classic Gehlot and which he tried to change, I think, keeping with the times, is those big posters, reaching out, talking out. I think he understood that this was a battle. It's a dual battle, not just one against the BJP, but naturally, but also one within his own party. I mean, I think he's always been touchy about the fact that many would accuse him of sidestepping Sachin Pilot, not giving him his due. I think if today Gehlot wins and helps the Congress party come back to power, there would be, in a sense, a kind of silencing of Pilot supporters and silencing of many of those who have been critical of Gehlot. He has his huge supporters, I would certainly say, as far as the central office of the Congress party is concerned. But equally, there are a large number of younger leaders who feel that, if Sachin Pilot couldn't given his chance, then where do we stand a chance? Gehlot would silence those critics if he manages to bring the party back to power, because in the last one and a half years, the entire campaign has been all about him. But moving beyond Rajasthan, I think in case the Congress party comes back to Rajasthan, the whole guarantee campaign of the Congress party will gain momentum. They'll realize that what worked for them in Karnataka, in Himachal, and now of course in Rajasthan and possibly in Madhya Pradesh, that is something which they are going to try and implement in 2024. A coordinated campaign, most importantly a stress on the local leaders. The local leaders head the campaign, they drive the campaign. That's the experiment which they applied and it worked in Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh. You saw that pretty much in Rajasthan, you saw that pretty much in Madhya Pradesh, and Arunima, of course there were central leaders going there, the president, the Gandhis and so on and so forth. But the focus was always on Ashok Gehlot. And I think this is something which the Congress party has finally learned to realize that state elections should be about state leaders. Don't try to make it all about Delhi leaders going there.
But would you say, Pallavi, these pictures are treading that very thin line as far as violation of model code of conduct is concerned? Already BJP is taking objections to Rahul Gandhi's tweet this morning.
Well, that's always a thin line, because if you ideally go by a situation, you're not supposed to talk about the party's campaign when actual polling is taking place. At most, you can only ask and people to go out and vote, and that itself is a kind of a cue which is being given to who you should be voting for. Media is also ideal situation, not allowed inside the polling booth, but I guess over the years we've seen this, all of that gets blurred, all of that gets lost out, and he's certainly showing his strength. I mean, these pictures are not meant only for Jodhpur. These pictures are, as they are being beamed live, meant for all the voters of Rajasthan, that I'm very much here to stay. I matter, I'm defiant, and you should vote me back to par.
So Aman, any word that you hear, I mean anywhere close to reaching the polling booth?
Well, he's still walking outside as we speak, Arunima. It's a small area, but I think he wants to take a full round, meet everyone, local people, his old acquaintances. We had in the morning seen a woman come here on the wheelchair to vote, and she said, I am the next door neighbor of Mr. Ashok Gehlot's ancestral house, and I will always vote for him, though he's not much seen in the constituency. And this roadshow, in a way, what I would say, going around people, also comes amidst this criticism of Mr. Ashok Gehlot that has been not seen much in Sardarpura. He's the MLA here since 1998. But his opponents, like the BJP candidate we interviewed yesterday, who's fighting from Sardarpura, Mahendra Rathod, and even Gajendra Shekhawat, told us that Ashok Gehlot has been missing from this area. He's not with people in their happiness or in their sad moments. He's hardly comes here. So people are also searching for their MLA. Mr. Gajendra Shekhawat told me, and he said that people this time will elect an MLA, not a chief minister, because they first need their MLA on the ground amidst them. This is good that, an MLA becomes a CM, so we become a CM's constituency. But has development happened in Sardarpura? Maybe not.
Yes.
There are areas in Sardarpura we've gone around who've not seen much development. So, these issues are very much there on the ground. But Mr. Ashok Gehlot had a comfortable win in the last election. But the BJP candidate pointed out to me that this very election booth where Mr. Ashok Gehlot cast his vote, the Congress lost this election booth in 2019 Lok Sabha elections when Mr. Vaibhav Gehlot was contesting the Lok Sabha election. So it's always a thin line in assembly elections. Obviously, Mr. Gehlot remains big, but I think this show of strength which he's doing on the bylanes of Sardarpura right now is to show the people, look, I'm one of you. I will be there for you. I might become the chief minister in Jaipur, but I will never forget Sardarpura. I think that is the messaging. We should have him. It's already running a bit late, but I think we should have him in the next few minutes, Arunima.
Yes, I think he's been out for about 20-25 minutes now, Aman, and I'm glad you spoke about the chief minister's constituency, because you compare it with Raman Singh's constituency, Rajnandgaon, or Bhupesh Baghel's constituency, Patan, Kamal Nath's Chhindwara, or even Budhni for Shivraj Singh Chauhan. The difference, you would say, is stark when you speak to people in Jodhpur?
Absolutely, there is a stark difference, and Sardarpura, Arunima, is very near, this whole highly touristy place. Mehrangarh Fort is there. You get lots of foreign tourists coming here. So it's a city to showcase in a way. It's a blue city. But still the development, I think, remains much to be desired of. The roads are chock-a-blocked, the drainage is poor. I saw, open nalas and everything, So all this, I think the image of it being the chief minister's constituency, I think, and some people say that. When Sardarpura we went around, even today when we were speaking to some voters, they said Sardarpura में और काम होना चाहिए. ये CM की constituency है तो इसको best दिखना चाहिए. So in a way, I think that feeling amongst the people is there. But since Mr. Gehlot is a local boy, MLA of 25 years, I think he should still, he's not in a difficult position in Sardarpura, but overall in Rajasthan, this talk is there that has the development model which Mr. Gehlot is speaking about in entire Rajasthan. Why is it not reflecting in his own constituency in Sardarpura?
Pallavi, you got that sense as well when you traveled across Rajasthan, that the development model is not really seen, and therefore the need to focus on the 7 guarantees even that much more?
Yes, absolutely. And there were those rounds of complaints. There were people who, in fact, when I was in Jaipur, many complained about this whole what they call the freebie thing. I mean, you know, there were people who belong to a corporate sector.